Weather Extra starts now.
Welcome to First Alert Weather Extra. Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt. And for today, we had some temperatures in the 80s, hot, humid conditions out there in many locations, but also more of the showers and storms as Jill and Lauren talked about. We saw that pop-up shower or two of West Alabama getting some of that wet weather out there, especially today. Let's show you the First Alert Weather headlines. Now, tomorrow, I think it's a day where we're going to be able to get in some outdoor activities and take advantage of it because, well, we get to Friday, periods of rain. Friday is one of those days we could be in for some wet weather in the morning, afternoon, well on into the night. It could be just a rainy, overcast day. Scattered weekend storms possible Saturday, coming off of that system Friday. We'll probably have some more wet weather going into Saturday, and then we'll see that coverage become a bit more scattered as we go into the weekend. I want to switch over to AccuTrack radar here and just show you what's going on. You notice that a lot of the wet weather for us has ended according to the last couple of scans, and we've seen the wet weather more focused in these areas to the south. Meteorologist Lauren Linehan here on the radar controls, and there was another kind of a secondary line that looked like it was trying to develop. It pushed south through Coleman County. A lot of that fell apart, and notice right there some of those showers moving into Walker County. Those have weakened, and also seeing some wet weather around Cherokee County. You can see there a couple of showers that are moving to the south right around center, and if this holds together, this could reach us around Hoax Bluff and perhaps around the Piedmont area. Certainly nothing like what we saw around here in Cherokee County earlier in the week and on Sunday. But next 60 minutes, forecast data shows that this could hold together, reach places like Glencoe. Again, I mentioned Hoax Bluff as that moves to the south. But that's what we're tracking. Very isolated activity at the moment, and it looks as though that wet weather is going to remain very limited here. A lot of this falling apart as we go into the evening hours. Let's take a look at that forecast for the next 24 hours. And the model data suggesting with the loss of daytime heating, a lot of this falling apart tonight. We get into the day tomorrow and not a lot of wet weather out there. Dry start. There could be some fog around in the morning, some low clouds early in the day, but it won't take long. Hot, steamy, highs in the 80s, feeling very humid. And then you can see by the afternoon and evening, we see a few pop-up showers, but certainly the coverage has backed off quite a bit. But here's the thing. We'll see this start out to the south and east, and then more of those showers building back in here through tomorrow night and into the day on Friday. Those waves of rain, it's all been moving north to south, but the wet weather is going to be moving south and north as that system comes in here later this week. We're tracking an upper level disturbance, big low pressure system, and that's going to be bringing in, look at that, Friday, a pretty good coverage there. Plan for some wet weather as we go into the weekend, and we've been seeing this for several days now. Friday certainly looks to be one of the wetter days. I want to bring in meteorologist J.P. Dice. And JP, I know you've been sending a lot of updates on social media. We've been tracking the, looking ahead to fall. A lot of folks have been asking us, when are we going to see some cooler weather, any changes? But there's some signs now we may have some changes on the way.
That's right. And a post that I put out the other day that got a lot of attention was the Climate Prediction Center indicating that temperatures may be above average for the months of September, October, and November. There were a lot of boos on that because I think folks are ready for those cooler temperatures. And we are going to see likely a little bit of a change, as you guys have been pointing out on television in the extended forecast, as we get into next week. We're going to be behind a cool front or a not so warm front with a good shove, a good push of that drier air. And the model's indicating that may happen Monday night into Tuesday, certainly by Wednesday morning. It's realistic that we could be waking up to temperatures with lows in the lower 60s. So a big change on the way. But before that happens, we have to get through this messy weather. We're going to be dealing with quite a bit of rain beginning on Friday. You notice a lot of those high school football games were moved from Friday night to Thursday in preparation for some of the more active weather on Friday night.
This is certainly one of the wetter Septembers I can remember, JP. I mean, we're talking about no tropical system, and we've had over a foot of rain across parts of the region. Did you see Chattooga County over in Georgia? We were talking about that earlier in the week, over a foot of rain according to high top radar estimates, but it's just been incredible, some of these rain totals across the state.
Oh, yeah, and we go back to this past weekend. An incredible amount of rain. Saturday had a little bit, then on Sunday, some of those downpours, we ended up with the flood warnings in effect. That rain was coming down hard. very little movement, a lot of tropical moisture out there. Even today, we didn't see really a whole lot of rain. There's been a little bit of thunder around Chelsea here, but you walk outside and it's the air that you can wear, the high dew points, and with all that moisture in place, with a little bit of forcing coming in as a frontal boundary starts to approach as we get closer to the weekend, we're going to see an enhanced rain coverage with dew points in the 70s before we probably get to somewhat of a change next week. In fact, next week, not only Monday and Tuesday, but for much of next week, that forecast looks a whole lot better. By the way, before we go, something very important here in Weather Extra. If you haven't heard it enough, happy birthday. Big day for you. We call this, it's the Wes Wyatt National Holiday that we need to celebrate.
Yeah, another trip around the sun, JP. Very, very thankful for that, but I greatly appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to be hitting the karaoke here this evening, but we're certainly going to celebrate with little Landon and Nicole later on. But it's been a great day so far.
Well, I hope you get a good cake out there, okay? That's key. You got to get a good cake. I'm an icing guy myself.
Yeah.
Some people like more of the cake. I'm a whole bunch of icing and a little bit of cake.
Hey, I love some birthday cake, so there might be a little surprise waiting. All right, well, thanks a lot, JP. Great seeing you, and we'll, of course, as always, check in with our good friend JP Dice. And looking at what's ahead right here on First Alert Weather Extra, you know, very wet, rainy pattern that we've been in. We're going to have more on those weekend impacts. We're talking about that fall front going into next week, as JP noted. Meteorologist Lauren Linehan, Jill Gilardi, as we go beyond the 7-day forecast. And we're talking football forecast, some big games. We got the Tide in Texas on WBRC Saturday. That's going to be a good one. We'll talk more about the forecast for folks traveling coming up.
When 6 on Your Side investigates, the issues that directly impact you matter most to us.
That's why we're getting answers on rising prices and how you can save some money.
And being another set of eyes looking out for your kids and your family.
Getting to the bottom of health and billing issues that may be hidden in the fine print.
How events nationwide are affecting you here at home.
WBRC Fox 6 is always here on your side, ready to help. This is why 6 on Your Side investigates.
These are your mornings, and Good Day Alabama is built to start them right. The only station staying local on all platforms all morning long. In your community, giving you a deeper perspective with the largest team dedicated to you. Showing new stories from overnight, helping you get through your day. With First Alert Weather and traffic, getting to the point, not wasting your time. These are your mornings. Prepare for a good day. Prepare with Good Day Alabama.
When moments turn severe, how do you find clarity?
This is your first alert from the WBRC Fox 6 weather team. We're with you as we prepare for this threat.
In a season of constant change, when you need to know first, when you need to prepare, only one team gives you the first alert wherever you are. A trusted team staying ahead of what's next in your neighborhood. Stay alert. Stay with the First Alert Weather Team. Live, new, and on your side, beginning at 9 p.m. In a day filled with clutter and noise, WBRC Fox 6 News breaks down what you need to know before anyone else. With new updates, live and on the scene, answers for your money and your livelihood, with 6 on Your Side investigates. And your first alert for the hours and days ahead with the WBRC First Alert Weather Team. On your favorite platforms every night. WBRC Fox 6 News at 9 and 10. On your side.
Welcome back to First Alert Weather Extra. I'm meteorologist Lauren Linehan. We have given Wes the rest of Weather Extra off so he can go indulge in some birthday cake. In the meantime, California, I know, would love to indulge in some rainfall, but unfortunately, they have been dealing with a historic heat wave. We check in with meteorologist Matt Daniel for an update.
All right, I don't know if you've heard about this, but we've had some extreme heat building across the western parts of the United States. And the best way to look at this weather pattern is sort of like a seesaw effect. Here in this eastern half of the country, we've actually been seeing temperatures slightly below average, and we've seen a wet weather pattern. But in the west, It's been dry and it's been super hot. In fact, yesterday in parts of California, you could be considered some of the hottest temperatures they've ever seen on record. So I just want to show you some of these crazy numbers from yesterday. Sacramento hit a high of 116 degrees. We're not talking about a heat index. That was the actual air temperature, and it's just destroyed the old record of 109 set back 2 years ago. Okay, so just to give you an idea, and also to give you an idea for Sacramento, that is their all-time highest temperature ever recorded, and the old record was 114 set back in July 17th of 1925. So that is an incredible record to break right there. Redding had a high of 115. It also broke the record back in 2020 of 111, so that shattered it by 4 degrees. And San Jose 109, and the old record was 105. So when you're breaking records and destroying it by more than 3 to 5 degrees, that is incredible and definitely historic. Here's more temperatures I found. Stockton 115 degrees yesterday. The old record was 110 once again back in 2020. And if you look at this little tidbit I wrote here for Stockton, it tied the previous all-time record set back on July 23rd, 2006. And 112 Modesto, old record was a 106, shattered it by 6 degrees. And look at Death Valley. It was very close on breaking its all-time hottest on the record in the world of 125 degrees, broke the record of 123 back in 2020, and that ties it September's monthly record. So just incredible heat all across California and parts of the West. And they've got numerous fire hazards, heat advisories, extreme heat warnings all across the western half of the country. You can see all these advisories from the National Weather Service offices. And the excessive heat not only continuing today, but also continuing into parts of tomorrow. So some crazy stuff happening out west. And when you have dry conditions, lots of heat, we're also experiencing some wildfires. But look at the high temperatures for tomorrow. If you go away from the coastline, they're looking at triple digits easily for California. Could be well into the 90s for Los Angeles. And of course, going up to Arizona, highs well into the triple digits there. And of course, we've got fire concerns with all the heat and the dry conditions, thanks to a dome of high pressure across the west. Across the Pacific Northwest, you can see several little red dots. Those are wildfires, and that smoke creating very poor air quality conditions across Montana and going into the Dakotas. You see those dark colors? That's some thick smoke. So that's definitely causing issues with air quality there. And that air quality spreads into the central parts of the United States, but not in the eastern half. And why am I mentioning the smoke levels? Well, one reason is sometimes you'll start to get northwesterly flow as we go into middle and end of September as cold fronts move in, and you never know about the flow. Some of that could spread some of that smoke all the way down into the southeast. Already seen a little bit of light smoke in parts of Arkansas into Louisiana and Mississippi. But we'll be tracking that extreme heat and those wildfire dangers over the next several months.
Thank you, Matt. Yeah, polar opposites here on the East Coast. In the meantime, we'll be back on First Alert Weather Extra after the break with a look at this wet pattern ramping up as we get into the weekend. And meteorologist Jill Gilardi takes us all beyond the 7-day. We'll be right back.
Remodeling a shower or bath can be tricky with gas prices up and tight monthly budgets. Cost is a real concern. But West Shore Home is helping homeowners get the shower bath they need right now. I'm joined by Kirsten from West Shore Home. And Kirsten, tell us, how is West Shore making bath remodeling affordable?
So Joe, for folks who want to get their bath or shower project done right now, we have a very special offer. We know that monthly budgets are a little bit tight right now, which is why we wanted to make this offer available to everyone. If they give us a call, we have 18 months of no payments and no interest financing. That means they can get their shower or bath done now and not have to make a payment for 18 full months.
So you're saying people can get their new shower bath installed right now and not have to worry about making any payments or paying any interest until 2024. That's really helpful.
Definitely. People love this plan because it allows them to be flexible with their finances.
Can we see some projects you've done recently?
Absolutely. So here's one where the homeowner wanted to replace their old fiberglass shower with something more new and modern. So we replaced it with a beautiful marble style shower with an easy low step entry and a beautiful shower door.
That is amazing. Perfect combination of safety and beauty.
It definitely is. So let's take a look at another one. These homeowners were struggling with mold and mildew from their old tile. They were tired of scrubbing. We were able to give them this beautiful new shower that is so much easier to clean. You can get a new shower or bath just like this when you call right now, and you won't have any interest or payments until 2024.
Kirsten, thanks so much. Folks, do not put off that shower or bath project any longer. West Shore Home is making it affordable to take care of that bath project right now. West Shore Home is extending this offer for 1 week only. Free installation on all shower and bath projects. And for a limited time, they're doing 18 months of flexible financing. That's no payments and no interest until early 2024. This is an offer you don't want to miss. Call the shower and bath experts at West Shore Home now.
Welcome back to First Alert Weather Extra. I just want to show you really quickly a look at the rainfall totals we have gotten, and notice how today most of the rain has been centered across West Alabama, west of that I-65 corridor, even really for the most part north of I-2059. We're beginning to see some rain showers south of that, but you can see in areas in Pickens County 1.5 inches of rain, and then basically west of Tuscaloosa, that's where we've seen those higher rainfall totals today. Almost 1 inch of rain up in Lamar County, and also seen down in Sumter County some rainfall totals over 1/2 inch. But as we look at our satellite and radar right now, a lot of that rain is moving to our south, so we're going to continue to watch this here as we get into the evening. But I really think the storm threat for tonight is beginning to diminish. We've had that drier air coming in behind that little front that's moved through, and so that's going to help to lead to a quiet evening. Any clouds we're seeing around will gradually fade away overnight. May manage to see a little isolated shower across East Alabama, but nothing to really call home about. All in all, going to be a quiet evening ahead, and starting off tomorrow morning with temperatures in the 60s. So let's check out that futurecast here for the next 24 hours. Again, most of the rain that we're seeing right now is going to keep on moving to our south and fading away. So overnight, check it out. Mostly clear skies. Certainly haven't had that a lot lately. If you enjoy the sunshine today, good news is we have more on the way for tomorrow. So we'll start off tomorrow morning with some sunshine, temperatures in the 60s. Now, as we get into the afternoon, we do have a stray shower chance, maybe some isolated showers possible, especially across East Alabama. And eventually, as we get into the evening, we're going to be seeing a few more clouds building in. And this is all kind of give us a hint of what is to come for the weekend. Our next big thing is going to be a more unsettled weather pattern taking over. So by Thursday, late into the evening, we may manage to begin to see a few isolated showers and storms dotting the radar. And then it's as we go into Friday that we begin to see rain coming in from the south. And this is actually going to take you past the next 24 hours into Friday morning. Check it out. All this rain. I know you look at this and you're like, what a great Friday that's going to turn out to be. But these rain showers are going to keep on lifting in throughout the day from the south and east and pushing north and westward. So here we are Friday afternoon. If you're headed out of town or have any Friday evening plans, we just want to make sure that you are prepared to deal with some wet weather in the forecast. In the meantime, for tomorrow, we'll start off in the 60s, fairly comfortable, as comfortable as you can get with this pattern we've been in. And then as we transition into the afternoon hours, by late morning, getting into the upper 70s. And then once again tomorrow, likely getting into the mid 80s. Technically, yes, still a little bit below average for this time of the year with all that cloud cover we've been seeing. But for tomorrow, it's more a result of the drier air that's going to be in place. Probably one of our warmer days in the afternoon than what we've seen recently. Fortunately, it's still not going to be too muggy just yet. Now, we will see some tropical moisture coming in over the weekend, but it doesn't actually have anything directly to do with tropical systems that we've been tracking out in the Atlantic basin. We've got Hurricane Earl, that is south of Bermuda, and then we also have Hurricane Danielle far in the northern Atlantic. Neither of these going to be impacting the mainland U.S. Notice, though, to our south and east in the eastern Atlantic basin, what has moved off the west coast of Africa, two tropical disturbances that we're going to be keeping an eye on. This one that's farther out in the ocean does have a better chance of development, but right now It looks like they're both going to be fish storms, staying out to sea, not coming our way. As we look at the spaghetti model tracks for Earl, continuing to take it to the north and east, and Danielle as well. Actually getting it a little closer towards Europe in the days ahead as it meanders out in the northern Atlantic. So for tomorrow, just a 30% chance of some hit or miss storms, starting off comfortable in the morning, then warming up with some filtered sunshine into the afternoon. But Friday, with that first alert for wet weather, yeah, it's not going to get all that hot. Temperatures at best getting into the 70s into the afternoon. So just plan for a wet Friday night. Maybe you just staying in, watching a little Netflix, or let me rephrase that, WBRC. And then as you go into Saturday and Sunday, for any college football games on Saturday, also be mindful of that wet weather around in our neck of the woods. If you're going to be doing any tailgating, watching the game with some friends, also some wet weather on Sunday. So yeah, I don't think Saturday or Sunday is going to be a deluge, but certainly a little wetter than we would like for our weekend plans. The good news is, though, look ahead to next week. Boom, what's that? First alert for drier air Tuesday and Wednesday, and that is not a typo, but next Wednesday, maybe, just maybe, a couple spots getting into the 50s. So on that note, we want to take a look now beyond the 7-day with meteorologist Jill Gilardi. Jill, our resident Yankee here. How do you feel about those 50s in the forecast?
Oh, I hope it's not too good to be true.
I know, right?
I know that far out, it's like.
I know, I almost hate we put it on there because now my hopes are getting up. So if our hopes are getting up, well,
I know.
You guys, yeah. That's not great.
Well, there are still signs beyond the 7-day that we do have some more fall-like air heading our way. So let's talk about precipitation. I know, Lauren was mentioning we're about to get into another rainier pattern Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but going beyond the 7-day, there is hints that perhaps we could trend a little bit below average. So perhaps a little break in this kind of pattern we've been seeing again for a while now, just very little breaks here and there. Now, this kind of map can be deceiving in ways because it doesn't mean necessarily we're going to have really hot temperatures. There's just a chance, you're talking about a 30% chance of perhaps those temperatures trending above average. Of course, that greater chance of that happening would be across the Midwest. And I say that because, I'm seeing some indications that perhaps our temperatures some of the days could trend below average. And then, of course, there are other days that it could go above average. And then you average all that together, and yeah, it could be a couple degrees above what you may normally see. But look at that. That's the dew point temperature. We want it to get in the 50s or lower than that. And that would mean it would feel great outside if this was going to pan out around the 15th, the 16th, still indications some drier air in place. So that would mean some nice refreshing mornings possibly. And you know what? It won't feel very hot during the afternoon hours. Now, as we get towards the 19th, maybe start to see that humidity creeping back in. So a little muggier. There is indication of that potentially happening towards the middle to end of the month. But again, some days could be looking and feeling better out there. So we will look for those trends to continue. And again, when you have that drier air in place, your overnight low, your morning low temperature can drop even farther. And there's some indications of that possibly happening. And if we get muggy again, well, that means your overnight lows would get warmer as well. So we'll keep a watch on that and keep our fingers crossed that we'll have more fallish feeling days to match the season that we're almost officially in. Yeah, now we're there already, meteorologically, Lauren?
Yeah, technically, yes. I'm just going to be like our ostrich brethren and stick my head in the sand about it getting muggy again once we get past this little front. But we know how it works this time of the year, right? You get a front come through, it ain't going to last. Summer still likes to stick around for a little bit. And we hope you'll stick around. After the break, we're going to be checking in with Mickey Ferguson for a look at that football forecast as we head into the weekend. We'll be right back.
When 6 on Your Side investigates, the issues that directly impact you matter most to us. This is why 6 on Your Side investigates.
These are your mornings, and Good Day Alabama is built to start them right. The only station staying local on all platforms all morning long. Prepare for a good day. Prepare with Good Day Alabama.
When 6 on Your Side investigates, the issues that directly impact you matter most to us.
That's why we're getting answers on rising prices and how you can save some money.
How events nationwide are affecting you here at home. WBRC Fox 6 is always here on your side, ready to help. This is why 6 on Your Side investigates.
In a season of constant change, when you need to know first, when you need to prepare, only one team gives you the first alert. A trusted team staying ahead of what's next in your neighborhood. Stay alert. Stay with the First Alert Weather Team.
When 6 on Your Side investigates, the issues that directly impact you matter most to us.
Being another set of eyes looking out for your kids and your family.
This is why 6 on Your Side investigates.
Live, new, and on your side, beginning at 9 p.m., WBRC Fox 6 News breaks down what you need to know before anyone else on your favorite platforms every night. WBRC Fox 6 News at 9 and 10. On your side.
When 6 on Your Side investigates, the issues that directly impact you matter most to us.
That's why we're getting answers on rising prices and how you can save some money.
This is why 6 on Your Side investigates.
How will the weather impact your roads? The First Alert Weather app has live traffic updates and road conditions for a safer commute. This is why we First Alert.
WBRC Fox 6 News. On your side.
Welcome back to First Alert Weather Extra. Meteorologist Lauren Linehan. Before we wrap up this evening, we want to check in with Mickey Ferguson for your football forecast, what to wear forecast. We got the whole mixed bag. Take it away, Mickey.
All right, let's take a look at what we should wear out there tomorrow, and we're going for another morning with it being a little bit cooler. So, you could wear some short pants because it's going to warm up into the 80s tomorrow afternoon. Your bus stop forecast, though, 67 degrees, very similar to what we experienced early this morning. And we're looking at 81 degrees at lunchtime with a high near 85 degrees. Only a 20 to 30% chance of showers, though, tomorrow. The Thomas Rhett concert is this evening at 7:30, and I think the weather's going to cooperate nicely. Right at the beginning of the concert, about 80 degrees, but cooling off into the 70s there. So it should be a nice evening for that. Also, Barron's baseball is coming up this Friday. They've got Friday night fireworks. However, we got a pretty darn good chance of rain on Friday, as you've probably heard by now. Good 70% chance there at 7:05 for that first pitch at Regions Field against Chattanooga. We also have some football forecasts. Alabama's on the road, and if you're traveling with the Tide over into Texas, well, it's going to be hot, getting up to about 94 degrees by the fourth quarter in Austin, Texas. Auburn plays host to San Jose State. Take your rain gear to that game. A good 70% chance of getting some rainfall down on the plains. And UAB, they're on the road. If you're heading over to Williams Stadium there at Lynchburg, Virginia, they're taking on Liberty with temperature readings in the 70s, so should be a dry forecast. Regardless of where you go, you can take your weather with you and check out the forecast based on the proximity of where you are, and and take some pictures too if you dare, and we can feature some of those right here on Weather Extra.
Thanks for that, Mickey. And if you're traveling out of town for any of the football games this weekend, that would be a great excuse to utilize the First Alert Weather app wherever you are. Just make sure it follows your location like all the rest of our digital devices do these days. So let's look at that 7-day forecast for tomorrow. Just some hit or miss storms possible. A lot of us will end up staying dry. High temperatures getting into the mid 80s. Fairly comfortable tomorrow. It's not going to be overly humid. Now, will that last? Of course not. The mugginess will be back up on Friday, and that's when we have that first alert for some wet weather at times. So Friday could be a little soggy. May want to make plans to stay in on Friday evening. I know we've had a lot of high school football games rescheduled for tomorrow when it's going to be a little drier. And then Saturday and Sunday, also some scattered showers and storms at times. With that wet weather in place, temperatures will be knocked down just a little bit, but going to be knocked down even more as we get into next week. On Monday, a front is coming through, and that's going to be bringing us a nice little dose of drier air, less humid, and maybe, dare I say it, actually pleasant by Tuesday and Wednesday morning. But Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt, after celebrating his birthday this evening, will be back to give you the forecast tonight on First at 9. I'm First Alert Meteorologist Lauren Linehan. Have a safe and happy Wednesday evening.